I never thought I'd come face to face with something like this. I grew up in a small town surrounded by endless cornfields, stretching out to the horizon. They whispered in the wind, swaying gently, just waiting to be harvested. But it's not that simple. Since I was a kid, people told stories, dark stories about a creature that shows up when the corn is at its tallest. A nightmare hybrid of locust and man, with huge glowing eyes and long twisted limbs covered in a chitinous shell. They say it doesn't just feed on the crops. It feeds on anyone foolish enough to wander too deep into the fields at night. One August night, when the corn was ripe and thick, I decided to see if those stories were true. I stepped out into the field after dark. It was almost pitch black, the moon casting a weak light that flickered on the golden stalks, throwing long, eerie shadows. I moved quietly, listening to the rustle of leaves underfoot. Then, from somewhere deep in the rows, came a strange buzzing unlike any insect noise I'd ever heard. From between the stalks, it appeared. It stood nearly twice my height. Its body was covered in a hard, armor-like shell like a giant locust's. But its limbs were far too thin and bent in unnatural ways, ending in razor-sharp claws. Its head looked like a massive locust's, with long antennae and terrifying eyes glowing a dull green in the dark. But there was something human in those eyes, something that made me freeze in place. Then it moved. Not walking, it twisted and shuddered like it was dancing, fragile yet grotesquely flexible. From its mouth came a piercing sound, part scream, part insect buzzing, like 1,000 wings flapping in agony. I tried to step back, but my feet felt glued to the ground. From cracks in its shell, tiny larvae spilled out and crawled toward me, making my skin crawl. As I stood frozen, staring into those glowing eyes, a memory flashed through my mind, an old man's warning. Something he told me once. He said years ago, the farmers found a cursed book, full of dark rituals meant to boost the harvest. They mixed chemicals with those ancient spells and poured it into the earth. But instead of blessing, the land turned rotten, poisoned beyond repair. And from that decay, this nightmare was born, a twisted creature, part locust, part man, doomed to haunt these fields forever. When it lunged at me, I was sure I was done for. But then I remembered what the old man said about a protective charm, a small cross woven from corn stalks and straw, carried by the farmers for safety. I pulled the charm from my pocket just in case, never believing in such things. The moment I held it up, the creature froze, as if bound by some unseen force. Its eyes widened, its shell glistened in the moonlight. It let out a sharp, ear-splitting screech and retreated into the shadows of the field. I didn't waste a second. I ran, not looking back through the thick corn. Adrenaline burned through my veins, my legs ached, but I knew stopping meant death. Back in town, I hid the charm and never set foot in those fields at night again. But sometimes, when the August wind blows just right, I swear I hear whispers and see long shadows sliding between the stalks. And I know the curse is still alive. If you ever find yourself in a cornfield after dark and hear the buzzing of what sounds like 1,000 wings, know this. It's not just insects. It's that thing. The creature that won't let you leave alive. Run. Don't look back. And never speak of what you saw.